But we're gonna jump right into this Bucks firing of their head coach Seth because
Yes.
looking at here the article that is posted on our little show sheet,
Yes.
I when I saw this news, I was pretty shocked. I mean, obviously, very disappointing end of the season, getting James Buckets the third to
Well,
just like spray his,
yeah.
shot all over your entire team,
Yeah, no, it
and
was it was bad.
but I I just don't really like. I don't really know. Like my thing is like I don't know how much the coach really does in basketball. Like what does Coach Bud even? Or what did Coach Bud even do that was like fire? Like hey guys, let's get in the huddle. All right, Chris, you're doing real good. I want to see you penetrate to the basket. Somebody pass the ball to Giannis, and I don't know, figure it out. It's like what is he like? The other thing too is you could correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong on this. He was there to develop Giannis, right? Like wasn't he the coach there for
Some
most of that point, or am I incorrect?
as far as like development goes, I mean, Giannis was drafted. The coach was Jason Kidd at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then I think we hired Budenholzer. Man, what year was that? It might have been that year that we went to. It was that year that I started. You know,
So
actually,
like 2016. Okay. So
17.
yeah, because I mean I know he was the coach when they swept the Pistons. That I
Yes,
remember.
he was. Yes,
That was a great day. As it turns out, a
absolutely.
team built around Andre Drummond is not going to go far in the NBA playoffs. I don't
Well,
know. It's a mystery to me. But my whole thing is like I don't know where you go from this. Like, what is the plan here for the Bucks? Are you thinking about promoting somebody internally? Who are you looking
y-
at in this coaching market? I hear Dwayne Casey is looking for a job, so
well,
he's
you
an
guys.
option.
Hey, you know what? Dwayne Casey can stay over there. That's fine.
What
He
do
does
you?
not
I
need to
think
come to
he's quite
Milwaukee.
good. What do you mean? He's
Oh,
gonna get
sure.
he's getting a suite next to Troy Weaver. He
Oh,
gets he
yeah.
gets to a higher up position.
Of
I don't.
course.
Yeah. So what are you actually thinking though?
Um, there hasn't been a lot of talk from what I know. As far as their plan. I know a name that has been kind of thrown around, at least on social media that I've seen, is Nick Nurse from the Raptors, who
Yeah, he
he
just
was
got fired
fired.
too. I mean,
Yeah,
at least
and
his made sense. They
yeah, right.
really underperformed this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I mean, personally, I mean, if I like Nick Nurse as a coach a
mhm.
lot, so I'd have no problem with that. But to be quite honest, I have no idea what the plan is from here on out. John Horst just made like he brought out, just the standard, we thank Coach Bud for his time,
Yeah,
whatever,
right.
whatever, the standard thing. Um, but yeah, there's been like really no talk on like who they're thinking of, but he did say too that the players will have some say. So I'm assuming it's whoever
So
Giannis
Giannis is
wants.
picking the coach essentially.
Essentially, yes. He'll have
Is it
some he'll have
okay?
some say.
Slight rant here. I mean, I
Yeah.
I always kind of had this problem with the NBA where it was just like essentially. I mean, I'm not like saying the players can't have any say on these things, but it's like it's basically a player-run league to an extreme. Like
No,
it's like
absolutely. I
Giannis.
agree.
Giannis is more the coach than Bud was. If you really like,
Y-
I mean,
Yeah.
he's pretty much running the team.
Yeah.
And Bud is just out
He's just
wearing
kind of there.
his pullover, and
Yes.
and somebody had to like you're not releasing Giannis, so
No.
who's gonna be the one to blame when
Right.
you lose in the playoffs? It's got to be the coach, for
Yeah.
better or for worse. Yeah, I mean, like again, like I was saying before, I just don't really know what head coaches in the NBA do. Like, what is Darvin Ham's specialty? His specialty is that LeBron is on his team, and he
That's
played for
true.
the Pistons. That's his two.
That
Those are
well,
his two specialties.
those are his two
Uh,
specialties, yeah.
like, I don't like when people like are like, oh no, I would hate it if the Pistons hired. It's like, why? Like this guy knows how to win. He's won
Yeah.
championships. He helped in the development of a lot of these players. Like I don't. He's an adult in the room. Like I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Dwayne Casey was an adult in the room too.
Well,
But like you have to like
right.
you got to hire somebody, right? Like, and I would much rather hire a guy who has made deep playoff runs, who has
Definitely.
won an NBA championship,
Mhm.
and also was coach of the year, just like Dwayne Casey was. But I
Well,
don't really at this point.
yeah.
I don't even know what the metrics are for coach of the year. It's just whoever they like. It's
It's
like, yeah, I don't
essentially
know.
yeah,
Dwayne seems like a nice guy. Let's give him coach of the year.
he's a cool
Bud's
guy. He's got a good
Bud's a cool
record.
guy.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the other thing though is that they do have that assistant that the Pistons were interviewing, Charles Lee, I believe is his
Mhm.
name. So I wouldn't be that surprised if they promote from within, especially because it'd be someone that Giannis would be familiar with. I like how we're just assuming
Yeah.
at this point that Giannis is just the one making the decision. It's like,
I
what is
mean,
the general
essentially.
manager doing? It's like, why are you the general manager? Like, what do you, your job is to
Again,
run the basketball team.
it's
but then
kinda
it's
like
like, I
basketball
don't know,
these
Giannis,
days.
what do you want?
Well, yeah, it's like basketball these days. It's all just free flowing. There's
It is.
positions, but
It is. I
it's
mean,
yeah.
well, the thing is, and this obviously is going to be particularly impactful for both of our teams. We play in the same division, we play in the same conference. So
Yep.
I think the thing is, if you hire the wrong guy,
Mm-hmm.
then Giannis, well, for one, this is going to be weird, right? Because Giannis is somewhat involved, if not fully involved in the hiring process. And if he
Yes.
gets a guy that he doesn't like, I mean, you're going to have, like, his contract is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's coming. Yeah, it's 24, 25 is
I
the
think
year.
you don't want another Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? You don't
No.
want another,
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't Kareem when he was on the Bucks, but you don't want another like superstar caliber player
Just
to
to-
walk because he doesn't
Yeah.
like the situation because ownership or
Exactly.
whoever is just like messing around.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I feel like it's much harder to mess up a coaching hire in the NBA than it is
Yeah.
to like look at the Celtics, right? So the
Mhm.
Celtics, they had Ime Udoka, who was a good
Yep.
coach. He brought
He
them
was
to
a
the finals, and now
really
they
good
have
coach.
what's his name, the serial killer. I don't even know what his name is. He just got crazy guy eyes.
Yeah,
What is this
Um,
guy's name? I mean, like, but you know what? It's like
yeah.
he
No,
already
absolutely.
he had Jason Tatum, he had Jalen Brown, he had Marcus Smart. That's how you win. You just have players, right? Like,
Joe
and
Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla, that's right.
That's his name.
He looks like a serial killer.
He could be.
I
agree.
Like, there was some interview that he did, and they were like asking him like some decision he made, and he was like, "That was the decision that I made," and and it's just like, can you blink?
he's going-
Like,
and he's
are
going-
you- yeah, he's just like staring you down. I'm like,
Yeah. Yep.
Are you okay? Like,
know.
are things all right?
It's
over
disturbing.
there? Yeah, I don't know. I think the thing about Bud though is right now, are you thinking, was this the right move? Like, was this what they should have done? I know, again,
mean-
you lose early in the playoffs. Somebody like heads are gonna roll. I mean,
Yeah,
that's just sort of
that's
the
how it
reality.
works. Yeah.
Especially you got, what is it? I mean, last year you had injuries, so you
Mhm.
had some sort of internal like excuse to have there. But
Right.
in this
right.
case, I mean, you were the 1 seed and you lost to the 8 seed.
Exactly.
Somebody's
So-
got to get torched. And it's not Giannis.
It's not. And it's not Giannis.
It's not
Never
Giannis. Yeah, and the other consideration to have is what do you do with Chris Middleton? Because he's
Man.
gonna be a free agent pretty soon.
If
or
you want to
he's a
get
free
me
agent
going
now,
on
isn't he?
something,
Yeah,
uh,
like
he has a player option,
okay,
which
so
I really
he-
hope he does not take. To be quite honest with you, because when I saw that this is like a side note, but
Mm.
when we gave him that contract, I was like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah,
That was like that to me was not a good decision. Because Chris Middleton, although he's a great player, like
he's
he's
player.
good,
He's
not
like a,
that good.
he's a star. He's not a
He's not-
superstar. He's
no,
a guy.
but he's a good compliment. You know,
he's the kind of guy that I mean, former Piston already, but he's a
Well-
guy that I wouldn't mind if Troy Weaver went out and signed him. Because he's an adult in the room. Right now the Pistons are running a daycare.
that's
Okay? Like
very
right now
true.
they have
Yes.
a median age of 23 on their
which
roster.
is insane.
And
yeah.
like I don't know if that's accurate, but what you know what I mean? It's like most of the players, like
It's close enough.
Bogdanovich is not, exactly inspiring a whole lot of offense for me.
No,
But Chris Middleton, NBA
could.
champion, he's familiar with the organization. He was drafted by us.
Yeah.
Like I think you could. It is weird to me that he just lasted 1 year with us, and then we just sort of let him go. Isn't that?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
it's a Detroit thing,
It happens.
Yeah.
It seems to be we let players go and they do
Well,
better elsewhere.
Yes.
I was looking through the free agent. I was like, oh, that's a former Piston. That's a former Piston. That's a former Piston. There was a
Yep.
name in there, Trey Lyles. I was like,
Oh, yeah. I remember
he
that
played
guy.
for the Pistons. I
Yes, he
forgot
did.
about it. I forgot he existed.
Yes.
And a few others. But yeah, I mean, right now, I'm not totally sold that it was a good move for the Bucks.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
kind of the
it's-
same.
I think
It's-
it's like,
Goes back and forth every day.
yeah, I ultimately you're thinking it depends on what they end up actually replacing him with and how they look
Absolutely.
the following year.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I mean-
you're gonna be a 50-win team. I mean, you have Giannis. He's
Yeah.
basically 50 wins free as long as he
Pretty
stays
much.
healthy.
Yeah.
The question is, are you gonna have Chris Middleton? How's Drew Holiday? What's his situation?
I mean, as far as injuries go, or is just
Well, just
playing in
like,
general?
are you gonna have control of him? Like, is he going to
I
be on the team next year?
I believe so. I think his
Okay, so
contract still has a couple
you
more
got
years.
Giannis, you got Drew.
I
You
believe.
should, or Brook Lopez is a free agent. You're gonna have to make a decision on him.
I hope we get
Um,
him back.
Maybe you could bring back PJ Tucker.
Well, hey, I mean, he was on the
I don't know if he's a
championship
free
team.
agent.
I mean,
Maybe make a trade.
yeah, we'll steal him back from Philly,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because
No.
I do think there's pros and cons to the firing of him because there's some games that I have seen where I'm just, especially the games in this Miami series, where I'm just like, what is he doing? There was I think it was in Game 5. The Heat went on like an 8-0 run
And they just didn't call
not.
timeout. I
He
remember
never
this.
called a timeout,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah,
why?
it's like when
The
you leave
momentum
your-
is with
yeah.
him. Well, not
Well,
with
it's like
the
you
Heat.
gotta
It's
call a
with Jimmy
timeout,
Butler.
right? Like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like you
stop
gotta
Jimmy
cool
Butler.
them off.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
he
like
didn't
leaving
do
your
that.
goalie in when you're down 5-0. Like,
Exactly.
it's like,
No,
what do
that's the
there's
thing.
no, like, you might not win the game, but you're at least like slowing it down.